Okay, so here's everything put together. First and foremost, there is a metal peg on top of the chimney where you will connect her feet onto it. So you're not relying on gravity, unlike a certain Ishtar figure that I keep complaining about. The Chaldea doll, there's no peg or anything, but it's still relatively secure. Starting with the painting, it's a very simplistic figure. There's not a lot of mixture of colors besides the ribbons, which has green and red and a little gold. But besides that, she's basically wearing all whites. Now, on the whites, there is slight shading all around. It's not very noticeable at a far distance, so at a distance, it may look a little plain, but if you look up close, there is some slight shading all around, especially towards the back and the clothing. You know, I'm just gonna take this off. He's gonna fall off if I move him around too much, or move this figure around too much. So, on the clothing, you see some shading as well, so very simplistic. Nothing too much to talk about in terms of the painting. For the headguard, it does have this nice gloss to it, and the side bells are painted metallic gold, so looks really good. Painting for the ribbon is very simplistic, not a lot to talk about. I do like the sculpting, however, like it's being blown in the wind, so that's great. For the chimney, the lines are sculpted, and for each individual bricks, there is shading. For the snow effects on top, it looks pretty good. Some detailing on top, and some slight shading on the side as well. Now, sculpting for the clothing, it looks pretty decent. Some wrinkles here and there. And the face sculpt, it looks like Santa Lily. She's blushing a bit as well, so that's kind of adorable. I forgot to talk about the hair sculpt, especially on the back. It's alright in my opinion. I've seen other figures where there are a lot more individually sculpted hairlines. This one's okay, you see some towards the bottom, but towards the top, not really. I also wish there's more sculpted hairlines for this portion of her hair as well. It looks pretty flat in my opinion, but it's towards the back, so you won't really see it as much. Towards the front, it looks a lot better, especially towards the bottom. For the lance, the shaft is made out of metal, and the end point right here is pretty sharp, so don't poke your eye out. They use gold paintings on the ends of the shaft. And for the head, a very nice metallic silver painting, and the design on this portion of the lance looks wonderful. Nice metallic gold, nice sculpting as well. For the attachment, there is a symbol on the ends, both the red and green. Also nice gold painting on the ends right there. And I just really like how this attachment is flowing, connecting to the lance, and overall, it looks wonderful. Now, the true reason you're buying this figure is for this Chaldea doll. Forget about Santa Lily, this is where it matters. Sculpting is pretty good. You see individually sculpted hairlines on top, and some wrinkles on his clothing, and some detailing on the Santa hat. So I'm impressed they put so much detail on this small attachment. Towards the back, it's pretty simplistic, and coloring, there's no paint bleeds whatsoever, so that's really good actually for a small attachment. You would think there's more painting issue, but it's really good, except for his book. I think there's some missing paint. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but nonetheless, it looks pretty good. Nope. For size comparisons, here is a comparison with her big sister, Jeanne d'Arc, in her third extension by Aniplex, and scaling is pretty good. And here's a comparison with a 1/8 scale figure, Edmond Dantes by Alter, and even though Santa Lily is still smaller, the scaling is a bit off because Dantes is supposed to be a bit taller, or a lot taller in comparison. Final thoughts on this figure? It's pretty damn good. Now, I will say Good Smile could have done a bit better, especially towards the sculpting on the hair. Certain areas, like right there and towards the upper portion, it's pretty flat. And the top of the head, more sculpted hairlines would have been a lot better. But I do like the position of the figure. The lance looks great, the little Chaldea doll, and the base, the chimney. Wonderful right there. Painting, there's not a lot of mixture of colors, and there is some slight paint bleeds, especially the red on the clothing onto the white. Not as clean, but not bad whatsoever. And overall, it's a very simplistic character, right? So she's not really that crazy in terms of designs and coloring, so for what they did, it's good. Now, you can purchase this for around $110 or so, so relatively cheap. I shouldn't say cheap, but more affordable. especially this day and age where price point is reaching over $250. So pick this up if you're a Santa Lily fan, or you want to have the 3 Jeanne sisters, because there is scale figures of Jeanne d'Arc and Jeanne Ultra already. So pick this up if you're a fan. A tremendous thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon or channel membership. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Fates content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day, everyone. Till next time.